champion Vershawn Jackson.
Oh, got a bunch all alone is Vershawn Jackson. And Vershawn, he'll get it to the 24-yard line.
Coming at you live from the Coppels Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by Wingstop. Here he is, Vershawn Jackson.
It's the dance-off. It's kind of loud right now. Let me turn me down a little bit.
I turned you up. I turned you up.
Don't turn me down.
I turned you up.
Okay.
I turned you up.
It's the dance-off. Terrell said he wanted to have a dance-off with me. And I already know ain't nothing he can do. Look at him. He ain't even in this camera. Look at him doing the white boy.
Oh, he's in this camera.
No, put it up, son, Bob.
Yeah,
Get
so
me
you
right.
can see
Get
him.
me right. Get me right. I want you to play some Luke, Uncle Luke too, and I'll show him how to move the body.
Oh my gosh. You gonna booty shake?
Yeah,
You gonna drop it like it's hot?
Yeah,
I knew you was wearing skirts, man. You said you was gonna wear some
Hey,
pads.
I'm from the South.
You said you go.
I'm from the South.
So you can't groove like that.
Ooh, me and
You.
hey.
You and your what? Look at him.
Slow moving.
Look at him. Like an old dude. That's what it's all about now in college football.
Being slow, huh?
No, the money.
Oh yeah.
Let us know who won the dance off if you on YouTube.
You can throw my hands up, then see, they can't see the lower part of my body. See, that's how the body works right there.
Well, you might need to get on the chair.
They just see your top part.
Get on the chair.
They don't see the
They know-
lower.
hey, they know that-
They don't see the groove, the lower part that the black shirt got.
They know the lower part is working though.
Yeah. It's like a time machine down there.
All right. I guess we better talk some sports today. It's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Is it a press conference today?
Press conference is coming up today.
Oh, you media guys get the press conference. You get to talk.
Woo!
You get to talk to Mickey Joseph and ask him all the questions that you didn't ask Scott Frost
You think
because
so?
you were scared of him. Yeah, I know so. Go back and watch it.
Because he was a $35 million man.
Go back and watch the press conferences. Why couldn't we hear the questions? You hear the questions now, don't you?
Well, they did. They did. update
You hadn't
that.
heard a question from Scott Frost press conference in 4 years.
That's not the media's fault necessarily. That's
I'm going to
more-
say it again. It
that's more
doesn't
on the
matter.
Husker
I
athletic
am
thing.
not blaming anybody. Okay?
Yeah, because he just goes up
I'm
there.
telling you, I'm reporting the news.
Okay.
Okay?
So Scott just went up there and just talked. And
But
then-
no,
and left.
No, they
People
asked
ask.
them questions, but you couldn't hear. If I'm asking you a question, you can hear me ask you the question.
Yeah.
Right? But it'd be like if I'm way.
Hey.
It'd be like if I'm way over here, and I'm like, Terrell, what was it like to get beat by Northwestern? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't really hear that question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when you answer, you come in real loud, and you know what I mean? And then if you don't want to answer a question, what did he do? Next question. Or he got smart with you.
Well, yeah, you can always
Come on, man.
defer the question.
Come on.
Every
man.
coach can do that.
We let that happen for a long time. No, it ain't even it's just about the cockiness in it. Okay? It's the cockiness. So if you're not, if I get it, if you want to ask questions, but don't be asking anything that you wouldn't have asked of Scott Frost. And if you do, cool. Accept the answer. Accept it.
I know there's people that say the media doesn't ask the real questions because they're scared of that, this or that. Sometimes it's not appropriate to ask maybe the questions that
Scott
that you want
Frost,
to be
you're
asked.
3-8. If you lose tomorrow, you're gonna be 3-9. What can you say has been the problem?
You could ask
Has anybody ever asked that question?
Ask questions
the
like
players
that.
are playing really hard. You know, we got to get the coaches. We got to get on the right path.
And then you get the
and,
coach speak.
we got to get our offense rolling, and we got to go. Shut up! Nobody wants to hear these excuses. No more.
excuses. We're at the bottom of the barrel, y'all. We at the bottom of the crab barrel. Okay.
You know what?
And we're small. We're not even a big crab, so you can have more of a chance to make it to the top. You're a small guy.
It's like
so now you got to be slick and maneuver your way to the top. Maybe climb somebody's back. You got to do all kind of stuff to get there.
it's like fixing a grilled cheese sandwich, and then you get to the butter jar, and it's No butter in it. You gotta get the butter knife to scrape the butter out. That's how bad we are.
At the bottom.
At the bottom.
We at the bottom.
Or on the side.
Yeah, we ain't even on the side. We at the bottom. We at the bottom. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying this. Stop with the shenanigans as far as, Mickey's got to win 18 games to be the head coach. No, we got to change the culture and the mindset of the players that we have right now. Whether we win or lose, it doesn't matter.
You get it now, and it carry overs to next year, and it carry overs, and it carry overs. And then next thing you know, Nebraska back on the scene.
Mindset.
We only need the right players, and Mickey can get the right players, So take the bad with the good, and let's roll.
It's mindset.
That's it.
It's all about the mindset. Where is your mind? What do you want to do? Do you have a winner's mentality? That means no matter what we play, you feel like you're going to win, I feel like I'm going to win. All we can do is play the game to see. But are you going to get my best shot, whether we're playing basketball, badminton, tennis, golf, paddle ball? What you play, Bach? What sport?
I play basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah.
It don't matter. You're going to get my best. Even if we just playing, you still going to get my best. Let's play horse. I'm going to shoot it like I can't shoot no more. And I'm going to talk stuff to you the whole way. And if you beat me, you know what? I'm willing enough to be like, okay, good job, Bach. Good job. But let's play again.
There's been too much cheering as the winners go by recently, I think.
Horseshoes or horse?
Either or.
I beat you in horseshoes.
I don't believe it.
I can throw it.
I don't believe it.
Okay.
Well, you moved in. You got me. Set it up.
I'll go get me. Yep.
Set it up. Maybe that can be our pastime while we get through this time.
Yeah.
We'll come back and talk about horseshoes.
Yeah.
People don't play horseshoes anymore, do they?
I used to play. I had a friend in Omaha, and when I first came back to Lincoln and I went to Omaha, he had a horseshoe pit out there, and we played quite a few.
Nice.
I mean, we played, so it was nice to play something different.
Yeah. So think about this one though. What's the little cornhole deal where you throw the?
Yeah, like
You know?
bags. Yeah,
Cornhole.
I kind of took it over.
Is that cornhole? Is
Yeah.
that a sport now?
Yeah, I think so.
Nick said it wasn't. See, I told you Nick don't know.
It's like curling. Curling took over, and now
It's a,
cornhole.
it's a sport.
Yeah,
It's actually sport now.
they played on ESPN.
Yeah, Tuesday we played. This is Tuesday into a game week. Okay, this is a Tuesday into a game week. So Tuesday should be probably the toughest day of practice, Bob. Like it needs to be. I ain't saying I want some fights, but at least get close.
Yeah,
Give me some argument. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Don't cheat. You know what I mean? Give me a little wrestling around or something. Give me some fire. Listen, the worst fight I've ever been in has been with my twin brother. The worst one. I don't ever want to get into a fight again. I mean, with me, it's like I never wanted to fight him again because that was just horrible. We fought for I don't know how long, and it's like two of the same equally matched guys just going back. You know, I get a lick, he get a lick. He get 2 licks, I'm getting 3 licks. But at the end of the fight, we were both scuffed up and thought to ourselves, why would we ever do it again? And we've never fought ever since then. We were like 13. What's the purpose? My point is, though, if we do, I know it's going to be, it's going to be, I don't want to say to the death, but boy, somebody's going to be hurt.
Oh,
Just
man.
saying.
I'm glad I'm far away from my brother because we go at it too.
See?
Especially my older brother. It's just I get him back for the things he did to me when I was little. And I told him,
You couldn't let it go?
no, I'm not gonna let it go. We could be 60, I'm still gonna get him. That's my mindset. I gotta get you back.
So I'm just trying to figure out how long it's been since the last time I played in Nebraska. So 97.
Mhm.
Okay, so
26 years.
07, 17. No, is it 26?
So 5.
20, it's 25.
Yeah.
26 for me.
Okay, but this is the 25th year anniversary of the last championship.
VJ was self-destruct at 5, 4, 3,
25 years since the last one. Bach, when do you think the next one will be?
I don't know. 6 years. Hopefully, the next coach gets it underway.
A championship?
I hope so.
The big dance?
I don't think so.
6 years?
necessarily. That's what.
How
That's the hope,
long
right?
is Michigan State away?
They're quite a bit away. I think
What
they're
about
like
Michigan?
50s.
What about Michigan?
Michigan's in the same boat we are. 25 years.
No. Like what I'm trying to say is, but Michigan's been in the conversation.
Yeah.
we ain't even in the conversation.
We haven't been in the conversation.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So I'm saying to be in the conversation, you'd have to be in the top 25, probably the top 10.
Yeah.
To be in the conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, when do you think will be the next time, according to the calculations of now, that we'll be in the conversation? I don't care what coach. What's your coach? Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
You got Urban Meyer. What does Urban Meyer do day one, sir?
Well, I think he can turn the program around quicker than anybody else.
Oh my God. Just give me some answers. I want answers now, Bob. I'm sick of questions. I'm sick of being asked questions. I need answers. If you're a fan, it don't matter. Listen, the sideline, it's open. The text line's open and the hotline's open. Call in. We'll give you a chance.
So you're saying day one,
yes,
he turns it around with no recruiting class?
Yeah.
I'm not saying day one. I'm saying that he's never gone worse than 8-3.
I'm gonna say this
so
one more time.
I'm gonna go ahead and think that he could probably turn this around pretty quickly.
Listen, as a head coach of a football team, before I'll tell you this, I do believe that the X's and O's and the coaches in the building are worth 50% of the games. So if you got smart coaches that can outthink the other coach, and you playing a 12-game season, you should win at least 6. Now the other 6 games has to do with the guys in the room. How are they prepared? Are their bodies in shape to go? You understand what I mean when I say that? Mm-hmm. I mean, are we a team that can play the first half great? And then when we get into the second half, all of a sudden now we have no idea what we're doing. We're tired. We're out of place because we're tired. Do you know that I would take a guy that's in shape to go 6 quarters before I take a superstar that's in shape to go 2? You understand what I'm saying? Come on, Terrell.
I'm trying to help you show out. Come on.
You can, but I mean,
give me a break.
Give you a break. I've already had. I'm sick of the shenanigans.
That was Scott should have been saying.
I'm sick of it. No. Sometimes, play the song for me. The last one we just played. Sometimes, Terrell, that takes more precedent than the X's and O's, than the Steve and the Joes, than the people that build the foundation of football. Sometimes it's just too much.
Dear Lord, as we go through the battles of life.
Dear Lord, as we go through life.
I don't know it.
Oh, okay.
I just listened
I was
to
gonna
it.
go. See,
yeah.
Huh?
I was gonna go with you.
Oh,
you have to learn it, man.
I did know it good.
You used to
when we was winning.
What difference do it make? See, that's the problem. The things that it took for us to win.
Yeah, it hurt me.
We forgot.
Let me tell you what Nebraska did. It hurts me. When you went to the other side and you changed the tunnel walk, I think that was the biggest tradition that probably cursed Nebraska ever since. You know, they switched over there. We haven't been good since we went to the other side of the stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we've been good. We've been okay.
Okay.
We've been okay in times.
Yeah.
In time. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I have to give Bo Pelini his props.
Oh, yeah.
I get it. But I'll take Bo Pelini any day over what we've been seeing here lately.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And we can't keep saying just lately, okay? There's been a decline since Mr. Frost was our coach. Right? It is what it is. If Scott Frost didn't play with me, then nobody have a problem about what I'm saying. But because he played, say, man, you is not in the country of Georgia, bro. I mean, the other day I was in the red room, you was smacking. Bach was scared to say something to you, but you was sweet toothing on the radio, and we let you slide that time. But I'm in here now. Okay,
all right, let's go.
You can't be in
Whoppers,
here
some milk
crunching on milk duds, and I'm trying to give a take. Come on. Don't you spit it out either. But come on, man. Good God.
They shouldn't fill up the candy this while I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm saying they can
dish
do it, but do it in
Yeah.
between the sets. I mean,
I got that sugar rush.
I know, but sugar rush in between takes or sets. You can't do it right live on air. Crunching in my ear. Did they teach you? Who taught you this radio game? Oh, I'm supposed to. Okay. My bad. Don't do it, Terrell Farley. Come on, black shirt. Sheesh. Well, that's the black shirt moment. See, just forget it. Just go do some stuff, huh? What was I talking about before I was rudely interrupted by Terrell Farley crunching on milk duds in my ear?
AKA Bob.
What was I talking about, Bob? Come on, man. Help us out, man.
I don't know. He lost my train of thought,
He
too.
lost you, too. See, that's my point.
I did a Bob, huh?
What are we doing here?
He's self-destructed.
Terrell Farley was self-destructed in 5. No, you can't even go. You can't even give him 5. You got to go 3, 2, 1, boom.
It's because you're saying what were you saying about Frost?
I'm just simply. What was I saying?
You was
You're
his friend.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
was his teammate.
Well, you
I
said we
was.
can't
If you
get
didn't
Frost.
play with
I'm
Frost,
still
right.
his friend.
Yeah, you said just
Still,
because
I'm his friend.
they wouldn't care.
I don't know if
you
he's my friend. It's a difference. Okay, I'm his friend.
If he's listening, he's
He's
probably not your friend.
Well, why? We
You talked about
We
me.
gotta listen to the Tom shenanigans that's been around here for 4 years, and be told that we're close. The cupboards are bare, but we're close.
Yeah, that's a true
You
friend.
you losing all of your goods out of your cupboard. They're just walking off, but we're close. Listen, Wandale Robinson, Adrian Martinez. The list goes on. Adrian's in that. He transferred.
Mm-hmm.
He's in there now. 56 of them said, "Hey, we don't like what's going on here. We're gone." Now, where are we at? We're at the bottom of the barrel because think about this. What is Michigan State saying right now? I hope they're saying, we're going to ride with you, Mel.
Oh, yeah.
It's only been a year. You went in the transfer portal. You did a great job of going and grabbing guys that can make you win now. And not only that, and for the people who said, give him the $10 million, guaranteed. What are they thinking? You can't fire him. You can't.
No.
I guarantee you this, they don't give him an extension to 15 unless he wins a championship. So he's got 10 years to do it. I think he's got maybe 7 tops, depending on how many he lose this year. Now, are the wheels getting ready to come off? What if he lose? What if he goes 3-6? You think they'll call for his job?
No, just because of the money. But I mean,
90 million reasons.
he did just win 11. So, I mean, with a quick fix. So maybe they're thinking now he can.
Before that, how many
build.
had he won?
Well, he
What was at Colorado?
At Colorado. You can't count that.
So how many did he win at Colorado?
Not
Well, he
much.
beat Nebraska.
Yeah, beat
So
Nebraska.
it didn't matter.
Seems like people make a career off beating Nebraska.
Yeah.
It's hard to win at Colorado.
Do you
too.
know that every team that has played Nebraska this year has lost their next game? Every one of them that played. I don't know what that is. I was just simply. I thought that
Northwestern still hasn't won a game.
Well, then they might not. They might not. They're the Kings that I thought winning 1-score games, but now they picked off where we left off. They're playing down to they've always done that.
But both teams coming into that game were 3-9. You know, for the previous year, they were the bottom of the Big Ten West. So
Let me
it
ask
might
you-
just stay that way.
Let me ask both of you guys a question. Would you rather lose 30 games by 1 score or lose 10 getting your ass kicked?
Either way, it don't matter.
No. You do. You didn't hear what I said. Now, Bach, you heard the question, right?
Yeah.
What's your answer?
I guess.
What's your answer? You guys are crazy. Listen,
Well, that's hard
if
to
I'm
do.
going to lose, I want to lose to somebody that just beat the snot out of me because he got my best shot. I gave him everything I had, and I wasn't good enough. But I gave him it all, and he knew he was in a fight. He was just better than me.
And
I don't want to lose me and Terrell in here scrapping, and then every time he beat me because he hit me with the same stupid uppercut. So for 30 games, he beat me because he went. But guess what? I'd rather him come in here and dust me off 10 straight for me to figure out how to beat him the other 20. Did you hear the question that I asked?
yeah, I heard the
Yeah,
question.
but
What's
it's-
the question?
If you feel like you are close, and I know you don't like close, but at least there is something to that. I mean, that's if you get beat 77-20, what are you even doing?
Wait a minute.
How far away are
Yeah,
you?
but-
Let me rephrase the question because you guys aren't paying
No,
attention.
I know what you're saying, but let me say
answer
something.
the
One thing.
question.
The thing is, who made this rule up that you have to keep a record about 1-point losses? I mean,
Right?
nobody never kept a record you done lost
One
9
score
times, but
losses.
you lost with 1 score. That's not a record. A loss is a loss.
Thank you.
You lose by 100 or you lose by 1.
You
You
lost.
lose by half a point. You still lost at the end of the day.
You lost.
So who made the record? Oh, Scott Frost says it's 3-19.
No, they fed us that was good.
Nobody cares about that.
That was good. We're so close.
Yeah.
Yet so far away. My point is, let me ask y'all the question again. Would you rather lose 30 one-score games or get your ass kicked for 10 and win the other 20? I'm going to ask you, Bach. You answer
So either
it.
way, you get 30 games, and I'd want to win 20. Yeah, I guess.
You guess?
I know. I mean, I would. It's just I don't think that. I mean, this is kind of the Bo Pelini argument. I still don't think that it was the wrong choice to let go of Bo. The wrong choice was to get Mike Riley. The wrong choice was to get Scott Frost.
Listen, man. See, I'm getting a little irritated now because I got to start to, the nice VJ, and it was in there, and it's not about that, man. I mean, this football. This is football. Last time I checked, it's football. If you want somebody to be soft, then you go play tennis. You go play swimming.
You go bold.
You go do all the other sports but football. Because in football, the guy that's the most aggressive, that plays under control, that wants to get beat by one-score games 30.
Yeah, I'm going to go play frisbee football.
Listen, man, y'all smell that?
Chicken sandwich.
Go get your chicken sandwiches from Wingstop, www.wingstop.com. You can go get them. 3 locations. What's the locations, Bob?
I don't know that.
Oh, what's the locations, Black Shirt?
29th and Superior.
Pine Lake Road.
Pine Lake
Pine Lake
Road.
Road.
27th and Superior.
28th and Superior. What's the other one?
50th and no.
Oh, he got it. It's the Black Shirt with the captain and Coven. We'll be right back.
Get an immediate look back at the game from the people who know it best. It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word live from Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Hear from former players and national champions like Jay Foreman, Rashawn Jackson, and Aaron Davis and see what they saw in that day's game. It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word. Live and in person, home or away at Tanner's Bar and Grill, brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure. Only here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers. Bauer Infrastructure is a new name from a well-established brand, and they're paving the way to progress. And they're hiring. Bauer Infrastructure is hiring truck drivers, carpenters, truck mechanics, and equipment operators. And they have industry-leading benefits to maintain a work-life balance. Bauer offers paid time off and paid holidays, a matching 401k plan, medical, dental, vision, life, and disability insurance, a clothing allowance, and more. Start your new career today by applying at BauerInfrastructure.com.
Guys, I just had my weigh-in over at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping after my second 10-week session over there. Since I started with them in April, I've lost 70 pounds. No pills, no starvation diets, just the proven method at Farrell's using kickboxing, strength training, nutrition, and personalized coaching. It all starts with their 10-week challenge. The next one begins on October 1st. Reserve your spot and get half off by mentioning the ticket. You can get all the information at fxblincoln.com, and I'll see you at Farrell's for the 10-week challenge beginning October 1st. Join now for 50% off.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
They might win, they might lose, but either way, you have something to say about it. Don't miss the Husker After Party postgame show immediately following every Nebraska football game. Nick Sainert and Jake Bachhoven give instant reaction, quotes from the players and coaches, and take all your phone calls with thoughts on the game. It's the Husker After Party postgame show, only on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sponsored by Action Plumbing and Heating, Gary Michaels Quilliers, and Brent Excavate.
Join us on Fridays from 2 to 6 on the rooftop at Barry's as we get you ready for Saturday's game on the block with Eric Strickland and Nate Brennan, followed by Old School with Jay Foreman and DP this Friday from 2 to 6 at Barry's on 9th and Q.
Hello, everybody. I'm Charlie Stone, and joining me in just a moment is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. But before I bring Andy on, I need to tell you about something that really got my attention. Just the other day, I saw on television Andy announcing that in the last 50 years, they had sold and serviced close to 100,000 vehicles.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, actually, the number would be a lot higher if we add in how many repeat customers we have for service and that come back to buy cars from us over and over and over again.
Now, Andy, tell everybody about your special offer.
Well, as most people know, always trade for vehicles, but now we're offering for people to come in and sell us their cars. We're ready to buy, bring it on in, whether it's a year old or a few years old, and we'll pay them cash that same day. It'll be hassle-free, and we'll do it the Honda of Lincoln way.
Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of buying cars, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Casey's General Stores is giving away 2 tickets to each Nebraska football home game this season. To enter, just head to any Casey's General Store location in Lincoln during the football season, scan the QR code at the front counter, and fill out the online form. One winner will be chosen at random 2 days before that week's game. So head over to Casey's, stock up on all your tailgating snacks and drinks, and register to win 2 tickets to a Nebraska football game, brought to you by Casey's General Store and 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Expect sunny skies and another beautiful fall day. We'll top out at around 78. Winds turning out of the north-northeast at around 10. Tonight mainly clear, a low down to around 41. So it will be a chilly night and a cooler day for our Wednesday. Plenty of sunshine again, but a high of 69. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back with Vershawn Jackson. Sponsored by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, cut the brick house and play the money. We're talking about money all day. It seems like, is it money is the root of all evil, or the love of money is the root of all evil? Which one?
I think the love of money.
It's the love, Bach. You know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I heard that one.
Okay, Bach.
Yeah,
The love of.
You look like he watched Game of
For
Thrones.
the love of money.
Oh, I did watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I knew you.
For the love of money. Listen, we got so many text messages. I got to get into them. Y'all done cut me off. Well, I'm gonna have a special guest at the top of the hour. We'll wait till 11. He's back. Yeah. Dude, this time I get to ask real questions though. It's an interview. I'll lead the interview and we'll get into it a little bit. We're gonna have Johnny Mitchell on a little bit later on.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about, because I don't know if people know who. Have you had a chance to see Johnny Mitchell on tape?
Yeah, a little bit.
Really?
I mean, I've heard it's more that in my age, I've heard how great he was.
I'm just saying, stop taking people's word for it, and because we live in this day and age where you can turn on the tape and be like, "Dang, that was Johnny Mitchell."
Oh yeah, I've seen a few plays.
You know why he only played 2 years and was out of here? You understand? Anyway, so let me get to your text message. 0760 says, "I'm 74, and I have to say, between VJ, Jay Foreman, and you, AD, I've learned more about football, about being a team, and personal accountability than I've ever understood. Thank you very much." I'm reading people's words. That was on AD's new show, but anyway. My name was on it, so I felt like I better read it. VJ, T. Farley, Coven, best radio in town. And now that you all got Bob Even better. We want Bob to call in.
The Bob and VJ show.
Take over, Bob. Bob, you better come with the energy, though, if you call.
Yeah, Bob.
Because if you don't, I'm telling you, it's going to blow up. It's going to blow up. I'm not playing. Call in if you like. You better have something good to say, because if not, we got Mr. Blow Up over there. It was a Friday night, and I was out late, bro. Next question. I love my dog. What? Is that me?
No,
what are we doing here?
No, that's like
Scott 10-2. What are you talking about, man? You see that, Bob?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
What is he talking about? He lost me. Chinese horseshoes is really popular. Have you ever played that?
Nah, I just played a regular.
Have you ever played Chinese horseshoes?
I guess I don't know the difference. I have to look it up.
Chase B. That's a good. I mean, I've never played that before. Dirty Tony and the Boys. Is the same Vershawn Jackson that was so proudly standing shoulder to shoulder with Scott Frost when he was introduced as a head coach, and the same one typing up 10-3 season? Dirty Tony and the Boys, absolutely.
You're supposed to support.
Let me just say this, okay? Because if you know me, then Scott Frost has been here for 4 years, and I've been saying the same thing for 4 years. But when I got in the radio, right, my voice is a little bit louder now. Everybody on YouTube knows what I used to say about this team and what I thought, and the fact that we were dancing at practice way back in 2017, 2018. Okay, don't start with me, Dirty Tony and the Boys. And I hope you are Dirty Tony and the Boys. And please call in, Dirty Tony, so you can give me your take. But when you get in the radio, sometimes you don't want. I didn't want us to be negative. I don't want to start this thing off with me getting back into the radio and be like bashing my alma mater. Who does that? We went into the transfer portal. We got rid of Adrian Martinez. When I started, I said I didn't think that was a good idea. Why would you have a guy who's smashed all types of records? He's been close in one-score games, and then you let him go and you don't say anything? Did you hear him say anything about letting Adrian Martinez go? Huh? Did we hear anything about it? Did he say, well, I'm letting him go. I'm putting up a fight for him. But if you go through all the press conferences, all we heard from Coach Frost was how great Adrian Martinez was.
Okay, so but my thing is with Dirty Tony and the Boys. Okay, I watched Scott Frost since he coached at Oregon, and I've been a fan.
Well before that.
But
well
that's when he took the spotlight over for me, was when he was offensive coordinator at Oregon. Okay, then he goes somewhere. I've been on Scott train for a long time, but when it comes to my school, my loyalty is more with Nebraska than it is with Scott, because this is my school. You know what I'm saying? They the one put a foundation for us out here. They the one taught me life. They the one, this is why I came back to, was because the University of Nebraska. But if it's time to hop off that train, when it's time to do something in a different direction.
Well, the train has been derailed.
Yeah.
We just was willing enough to eat that sandwich. That's all.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, Dirty Tony and the Boys, you was eating that sandwich. I ate the sandwich this past year, but again, go back and listen to what I said. Okay, let's stop. Just like we can go back and listen to what Scott said in his press conferences, right? Go back and listen to what I said. There's just no way that you have mass exodus. You've had mass exodus, and these guys like Wan'Dale Robinson, who was phenomenal for you, you allowed him to leave. Are you kidding me? What? My best player? I'm going to let him go? I've been coaching football for a long time. There is no way, and I've been a part of football for almost all my life since I was 7 years old. There is no way a coach lets the best player on his team go and then go start at another school and then get drafted.
I don't really think Scott had to say so in that. Because
listen,
it was the transfer portal.
Let me say this one more time.
You got to retain those guys.
You guys don't. But you guys are talking what you don't know. I spoke to Wan'Dale Robinson Sr.
Okay, I mean, he said it was time for his son to go.
Why?
Because they had him at running back. They had him out of position.
Okay, so then me as a head coach, when you come in with your son and say, hey, you running my son on first and goal 3 times and getting them blew up going into the end zone, bro, you're not thinking about his life after football.
I mean,
or going to football, right?
If
you continue, no. If you continue to run my son into the teeth of the Big Ten defense, we're leaving. Okay? Now, me as a head coach, you just said that to me. I got to be able to take, okay, either I'm going to say, okay, Mr. Farley, I'm not going to do that anymore. But if I say, okay, Mr. Farley, I'm not going to do that, and you do that, what do you expect?
Okay, this is like saying if Coach Osborne asked VJ, hey, I need you to move back to running back. What would you have said?
I'm moving back to running back.
Okay,
to help the team.
So the coach is putting him where he needs to be at.
But me playing,
saying.
hold up though.
He's an all SEC
He
wide
is
receiver.
out of position playing
Okay,
running
but
back.
maybe
man.
Scott didn't figure it out till it was late.
No, Greg, stop,
he was the best player on the team.
If it was just Wandale Mavis, JD Spielman happened, Wandale happened.
How many else happened? How many do you want to go through?
You
right? You want me to go through the list?
I mean, you lost the players. They left. So, I mean, it's at the end of the day, that's what they made the transfer portal for. They made it easier for kids to leave and still play. Now, if he would have played and had to sit out a year, he wouldn't have went nowhere.
I get that part, but
but at the same time, the NCAA made it easier for these kids to escape anything they wanted to escape by making a transfer portal.
I'm gonna say this one more time as a head coach, and Bach, I'll let you get a take. But as a head coach, I would never lose a Terrell Farley because I'm playing you out of position, and I know I'm playing you out of position. Okay, if he could have been at running back and they had lines that was blocking, and they had a fullback in front of him. That's a completely different story. But the kid was 5'7", soaking wet, 170. You tell me he's supposed to be playing in the big. He couldn't have played in the Big 8 unless he looked like Derrick Brown, and he wasn't 170. That joker was 200.
Well, go both ways. So, at the end of the day, we lost a good player. And
we lost a lot of good players. We didn't just lose some good players. The reason why we don't have depth on defense is because we lost them all. How you gonna tell me that Payne? Remember Major Payne?
Oh, yeah.
Payne played a great year the year before, and then you talking about you going to get somebody that's gonna replace him instead of keeping him in the fold because he knows the guys.
Got two defensive linemen suiting up for Oregon right now, but don't worry, we replaced those guys in the portal, and then Nebraska's giving up 500 yards a game.
I'm just saying, are we worse off? We went in the portal. We paid the money for the portal guys. And listen, if they're coached up different, they might be different players. But if you coach to just post and just stand there and then don't do anything, that's what you're going to get. But if you are trained to go and, like Coach McBride said, play the pass on your way to the ball carrier or on your way to play the run on your way to the quarterback. Right? I didn't say that. One of the greatest defensive minds said that. So you telling me that Scott Frost and his staff, Shenander, all of those guys did not confer with Coach McBride? Huh? Man, don't be pointing fingers out here. Point fingers at the person that was making $5 million. Point finger at the person that was making $800,000. Point fingers at the person that are in control and in charge of our young men to make sure that they're football players. Anyway, let me get back to it. Thanks, Dirty Tony. I appreciate that. Seriously. I like Dirty Tony. I appreciate that line of questioning. Thank you. Cadoba Guy 93 says, you can't say on the radio what Urban Meyer would do day one.
Hey.
You can't.
Hey.
You can't. You haven't. You haven't told us one thing. See, you can't be like the some of these politicians that'll tell you all the good stuff and they still ain't tell you one thing that they're going to do and they actually do it day one.
I don't know if day one's going to be where you win it, but I mean you can have, go into the locker room, talk to the guys, but you got issues. He needs more guys on. Yeah, he needs more than what's on the roster right now. So recruiting is going to be part of it.
Day one, what do Urban Meyer do?
Get coaching staff together.
What do you do?
Call a team meeting. That's about it.
What does anybody do? But this Urban Meyer question is silly. It's like, if Kobe Bryant's out there in free agency, go pick up Kobe Bryant.
Hey, calm down. Calm down,
that's
sir.
Just silly.
Leave the late great Kobe Bryant. Let him be.
All right.
I'm not
Barry Bonds. Whatever.
There you go.
Whatever example you want.
But are you comparing? You comparing Barry Bonds to Urban Meyer?
Yeah. As far as the free agency of coaches,
did Barry Bonds do steroids?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's what you're comparing?
That's fine, yeah.
So it's cool.
All-time home run king.
It's cool to do steroids.
A lot of home runs.
Okay. I just want to make sure where we're at, Bach.
All right.
I like it though. I like this Bach. Bring it. All right, here we go. Got to get coaches with Herb to teach the kids to have a killer mentality. Yeah, I mean, thanks, Spencer. I think you do have to do that. Day one, Meyer would have great assistants around him and the team. I like that. Day one is his first responsibility to me. Day one is to get a team meeting, talk to the players as a group, and then talk to each player individually. Find out what his goals are. Find out who he is. That's that, because I don't know if that necessarily happened. I just don't know. Craig says, preach on, VJ. Appreciate that, Craig. John and Cortland 9-3 says, needs to be built from inside Nebraska. Without those players, no one understands what it's about. I agree with that 100%. Got to get the former players down there. And I'm not saying former players to go and coach. I'm just saying for us to cheerlead. Listen, there's some guys that went first round that made millions of dollars that would love to come cheerlead Nebraska. Right, Terrell?
Mm-hmm.
There are guys out there that would love to come back and be like, we'll probably put pom-poms on. That's about as close as it's going to get for me, Terrell. We'll probably put we'll probably put the pom-poms on.
Then you say you can black fit too?
No.
Oh.
No, if we called that one, remember the one black kid that was there when we was there and he used to do all those black flips in a row? You remember him?
Cheerleader?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh man, you don't remember that.
You get to the phone line? Mike's on the phone line if you want to get the mic.
Okay, Bach, get the mic. Mike, what say you? You're on the Captain Show.
Hey, how you doing? Here's what I say, and this isn't involving the heavy lifting of getting players, but I think the thing Urban Meyer or any coach could do is what Vince Lombardi did. He came to the Packers and had a losing culture, and he said, gentlemen, I've never been associated with a losing team, and I don't intend to start now. And he went on and on of what his expectations were and what we're going to do to win. And I remember Bart Starr talking about it because he played for 3 or 4 losing seasons with the Packers. And as soon as the meeting got over, he called his wife and said, honey, we're going to start winning. And I think from day one, you establish your expectations, your culture, and what you demand of the players. And that's step one. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate that, Mike. I mean, you got to get them on board first, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Joe B says this, 8-4, day one. The kids on the team needs to understand what Nebraska tradition is. Not half the kids, all the kids. The kids see playing half-ass plays all the time. That's not Nebraska football. If you don't go 100%, you shouldn't play sports. Listen, feel free to chime in. How about we win 30? You know what, Shaney? When we win 30 is when we get back to winning 20 or 10.
5,
4,
3,
2, 1. The Captain Show will be right back to Ticket 93.7.
An entire week celebrating Lincoln's craft brewers is just around the corner. September 26th through October 2nd is Lincoln Craft Brew Week. Head to lincoln.org/beer tour for a complete schedule of events at your favorite local establishments. Brought to you by the Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Need to send a message? Send it with cake. Congratulations. Here's a congratulations chocolate rum cake from Beatrice Bakery. Thank you? Say thank you with an amaretto cake. I'm sorry that I accidentally hit your mailbox with my car as I was backing out of the driveway and then continued right into your prized petunias. You say that with a lemon drop cake. Everybody knows that. Beatrice Bakery in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Here to help you say whatever it is you need to say. Welcome to our world of yum.
Hello, everybody. I'm Charlie Stone, and joining me in just a moment is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. But before I bring Andy on, I need to tell you about something that really got my attention. Just the other day, I saw on television Andy announcing that in the last 50 years, they had sold and serviced close to 100,000 vehicles.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, actually, the number would be a lot higher if we add in how many repeat customers we have for service and that come back to buy cars from us over and over and over again.
Now, Andy, tell everybody about your special offer.
Well, as most people know, always trade for vehicles, but now we're offering for people to come in and sell us their cars. We're ready to buy, bring it on in, whether it's a year old or a few years old, and we'll pay them cash that same day. It'll be hassle-free, and we'll do it the Honda of Lincoln way.
Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of buying cars, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Get an immediate look back at the game from the people who know it best. It's the Tanner's Post-Game Show and the Final Word live from Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Hear from former players and national champions like Jay Foreman, Rashawn Jackson, and Aaron Davis and see what they saw in that day's game. It's the Tanner's Post-Game Show and the Final Word, live and in person, home or away at Tanner's Bar and Grill, brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure. Only here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour, with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Guys, I just had my weigh-in over at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping after my second 10-week session over there. Since I started with them in April, I've lost 70 pounds. No pills, no starvation diets, just the proven method at Farrell's using kickboxing, strength training, nutrition, and personalized coaching. It all starts with their 10-week challenge. The next one begins on October 1st. Reserve your spot and get half off by mentioning the ticket. You can get all the information at fxblincoln.com, and I'll see you at Farrell's for the 10-week challenge beginning October 1st. Join now for 50% off.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Join us on Friday from 2 to 6 on the rooftop at Barry's as we get you ready for Saturday's game on the block with Eric Strickland and Nate Brennan, followed by Old School with Jay Foreman and DP this Friday from 2 to 6 at Barry's on 9th and Q.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Expect sunny skies and another beautiful fall day. We'll top out at around 78. Winds turning out of the north-northeast at around 10. Tonight, mainly clear, a low down to around 41, so it will be a chilly night and a cooler day for our Wednesday. Plenty of sunshine again, but a high of 69. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey. and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is 93.7 The Ticket.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Three-time national champion Vershawn Jackson.
Oh, got a bunch all alone is Vershawn Jackson. And Vershawn, he'll get it to the 24-yard line.
Coming at you live from the Coppels Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by Wingstop. Here he is, Vershawn Jackson.
Yeah!
All right, Bob, cut it. Let's go ahead and turn it on down. Let's get right back into it. Now, let me just say this. Not only was I there, but I was one of the biggest fans of bringing Scott back. You know why? Because in my heart, I knew that we were going to get back to doing what he said in his first press conference. If I've got it, if you like it, I don't want to play it now, but I've got it. We've got it loaded. That we were going to get back to being a physical football team. We were going to get back to being the things that made us Nebraska. I didn't say that. Coach Frost said that. I was excited about that. I was very, very excited about it. But that's not what we got. That's not what practice looked like. What is everybody that's been on this show from the 70s all the way from the Coach Osborne was there in the 60s. What did they all have in common when we spoke about practice? They all have in common how tough it was, right?
Yeah.
If Miles Farmers just told you we ain't tackled in 4 years, what? So are you being tough in practice? You tell me why some music should be played at practice and on any level. I get it if it's game day and you got trying to get some noise, but if you're really teaching someone, do you think you can do it over music?
Nah.
Bob, could you do it over music?
Not as effectively, no.
Especially over
If you was
Tupac.
teaching your son math, could you teach him with the music blaring in the background?
I don't think so. Distracted.
So then why would we do it? And then say that was stuff that we did. It wasn't. There was things that Coach Frost and that staff did that was not Nebraska football. I'll leave it at that. Okay.
I kind of wonder how many schools listen to that type of music when they practice. I'm just saying because
There might be some.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there's not some out there that do it, and maybe they've learned how to do that and adjust, right? And they've been playing high football. But I'm gonna tell you, a team that listens to music at practice is not a championship team. I refuse to think that Georgia was listening to music at practice. I refuse to think that Alabama and Nick Saban is listening to Lil Wayne at practice. I refuse to think that. I refuse.
Which Lil Wayne?
Any of them. Carter 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Tom, you on the air. You on the Captain Show. What say you?
Yeah, comments regarding culture and your conversation about culture. I think culture is something that you can be required to conform to. For example, Scott was at Stanford for 2 years, right? Then he came back to Nebraska, and as I recall, or stories I've heard told, he was required to conform to the culture, but did he ever embrace it? You can talk the talk and you can walk the walk.
Wow.
So I guess that's, and
wow.
Another story, this is a relative of mine. There was a kid that grew up when Frost was growing up and said that, when they would want to do things like kids in the neighborhood used to do things, it always seemed like, Scott wanted to do what Scott wanted to do. It wasn't like if most of the kids want to do this, Scott didn't want to do that. So, I'm not, and this person said when Frost was hired, he goes, I don't think this is going to work out. Now, hindsight's always 20/20. Mm-hmm. But again, do you conform to the culture or do you embrace it? That's all I'll say, and I'll let you guys discuss from here. Thank you.
Oh, Tom, thank you.
Yeah, that was a good answer.
Did you conform to the culture or did you embrace it? When you conform, did you embrace that conformity of the culture? I don't know if that's necessarily. I mean, wow. Did he ever conform to the culture of Nebraska football?
I got you thinking now, though.
Man, my cap is on.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom. Seriously, that is a great statement. I think it's a statement that you guys ask yourself about him, and you come up with your own conclusion. I know what mine is. I mean, again, I'm not talking 2021 or 2022. We're talking 2018. That's when it started. Okay, when we didn't start tackling, when we stopped. Well, we wasn't tackling with Rowley. We didn't tackle with Callahan. Really, they had their share.
They had like tackling consultants come in and try to change the tackling style from year to
Why
year.
though?
A safer way of tackling, I think.
Bruh, this is football. Guess what's going to happen at every game that's happening this weekend? At least one person going to get hurt. I guarantee it. I don't care what they put on. Somebody's going to get hurt playing football because it's a physical sport. And he who is fastest, he who is strongest, he who knows what he's doing, he who has the best agility, most of the times, if you got a team full of those guys, you're going to win. That's what we had, Terrell. We had a team full of athletes that specialized in a position, not necessarily what we came in as. But we had to learn in order to play at Nebraska. If you didn't know what you're doing, you were not going to play at Nebraska. Now, some would say I made my share of mistakes. You know what? I did, but guess how I made it? Going fast. You never could tell, because if I blew my assignment and didn't necessarily go the right way and get the right guy, I'm gonna get some guy. He's not making the play. I don't care if you ain't my guy, you're not gonna make the play. So when we get back to having 11 athletes playing specialized positions, that's when we get back to winning, Terrell.
And I think you played because VJ was he got big. When he started working with them linemen, he got scary. He started looking scary. He was like he was intimidating just looking at it. I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
But you know what? They used to want to go golfing. The reason why I don't like golfing is because of that. Because I was so big that when I tried to swing, I had nothing. I couldn't even. I could only get to here, and it just was. It was so uncomfortable. You know, I never got back here.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was always just to here, so it was uncomfortable for me to golf, and I was like. So, you know what I'm saying?
It's like Charles Barkley's swing.
Only because, listen, and we're talking natural because I worked out with the linemen.
Yeah.
I wanted it. I wanted to play. If you go to Nebraska and back in that day, most of the times you were going to ride the pine for 2 years, unless you was like Terrell Farley, and you got to think, Terrell Farley didn't ride the pine for 2 years. He went to JUCO. I don't think if Terrell Farley came, and you can speak to this, Terrell, if Terrell came to Nebraska as a freshman, that he would have been starting that linebacker. I can tell you he wouldn't have, because you had a guy named Ed Stewart who's an All-American and that played safety that came down to play middle linebacker. You had Mike Anderson. You had back in that day, they had a bigger, bulkier guy. So I'm saying in that day, it was more running going on in those late 90s. Now, Terrell, do you think as a true freshman, when you came out in the great year of 1993, you could have started at Nebraska?
I wouldn't have came here. Hey, look, only reason I came, I knew I had a chance to play. I mean, that's what you look for when you're getting recruited. You look for.
I said as a freshman.
I mean,
freshman.
Probably special teams. I don't know. I probably would have took a red shirt most likely, but to get bigger. So but. I think probably in 94, they would have probably had to find me somewhere to play, find somewhere to play me.
Well, you weren't going nowhere. You weren't going nowhere. You don't even try.
Yeah, I'm not a backup player, dude. I'm not that type of player.
You'd have been a backup in 94 and 93. You came out in 93 or 94?
I came out in 93.
Yeah, 93, 94, you'd have been a backup.
Well, like I say, may the best man wins.
Oh, yeah. One thing for sure, you came in with a storm in 95.
Yeah, so I would have came in the same way in 93 or 94. I don't know. I just play my game. I don't worry about nobody else. I just play my game.
Right.
So,
but I mean, the road would have been a lot harder had you not been playing those games, because you was getting the game experience. blocking punts, blocking field goals, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, if you come in as a freshman, you're not going to be as schooled as a veteran like you were when you came and you were able to not only play at Nebraska, but to start at Nebraska and be a guy that if you take some of your plays away, is it the same game? Now, could we still win? Yeah, but will it be the same game? Will you guys be that dominant? Take some of your plays away that you made that everybody's like, how in the heck did he do that? You know what I'm saying? Who gave him the playbook? I used to wonder that. Did you know the playbook or you just out there freelancing? Which one?
I just know my position.
You knew what you were doing?
Yeah. I know how to I mastered the wheel position.
Oh. Who you got? Let me get back to this. So, Bach, that's revisionist history. Frost was a no-brain hire. Everyone agreed. It just didn't work. It didn't.
Yeah. I didn't argue with that. Riley was the kind of a questionable call, but Frost was a good hire.
It was a good
Looked
hire.
like a good hire.
If we had put some option in his offense, right? More option in his offense. If we had got under center, maybe kept one fullback, right? Don't destroy the things that made us that still work today.
Do you think before I kind of thought before Riley got hired that they was gonna get Scott Dean. Do you think he would have been better than 8 years ago? Or
no, I don't know if I don't think he was ready 8 years ago. I think at the end of the day, we should have. If you're going to do anything, you retain Solich the whole time. If not, then who went on to Ohio? I mean, if he was able to go to Ohio, why wasn't he able just to stay at Nebraska? You know what I mean? But then you go there, you have him fire people, right? And on a winning staff. It wasn't a losing staff. He fired tenor guys that have been around for 20, 30 years. You know, and I really, truly think that if Turner Gill was offensive coordinator, he might have still been there. Because I know Solich is a great mind, but I think he was so great at running backs that running backs were still good, but they weren't great during that time when you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was a drop-off just because of how good he was. And so I don't know what happened at Ohio, but I do know he was successful.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He built a team at Ohio and nobody gave him a chance to win, and he won games. And he went to bowl. I want to know that. How many bowl games did he go to?
More often than not. I'll look it up.
No, Solich.
All-time Mac.
How many bowl games did he go to?
Wins?
Think about that. Frank Solich. And we fired him. So then you go to Callahan, who totally turned everything upside down, right? Right side up. And then you go from Callahan to Bo Pelini, who, if you're going to do anything, you probably should have left Bo Pelini in place.
Yeah.
Right? You made him the interim. They played well. They played for him. So why even just keep him in place? We didn't. We did a big old search firm, right? And we went out and got Callahan, who was the next allegedly available. But if we go back and we look at Callahan, what did he do to the team that he took to the Super Bowl? You guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
He inherited John Gruden's team.
Yep.
Okay. Now, what did he do when he got to the Super Bowl that he didn't do the entire year? You know what he did? He passed the ball. He didn't even run it. They've been running. It was a snow game. And then we want to throw it all around over the yard. Anyway, we got AJ.
Yep.
AJ, you're the captain. The ticket. What say you?
Hey, guys, going back to Dr. Tom's time frame, and it was right after he retired. He wrote a couple books about his experience here in Nebraska. And one of the things that caught my eye was that he talked about how he had his position coaches, to include himself, write mission statements prior to the season. And then after each game, if they revisited the mission statements, okay, after each game, to make sure that they were on par and they were on track for that they're making everything happen that they said that they wanted to. Were you guys aware of that? Did those mission statements trickle down to you guys also?
I just think by coaches, we had our goals that we needed to write down, what we wanted to do, what we wanted to accomplish for the season. But I mean, if you really look at it, that was the mission statement. You know, what we wanted to accomplish, what we wanted to do, but it wasn't set a mission statement.
I think he's talking about the weekly mission statements. Like we'll have Vince Lombardi little quotes, and then the next week,
Mr. Farley.
The next week we'll have Mike Singletary or a different quote for each week.
Right, but no, he's saying that right, and correct me, AJ, if I'm wrong. You're saying that coaches used to have to write a mission statement before the season start on what they wanted to get done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and Dr. Tom wrote it in one of his books that I read after he retired. He was specifically talked about that, and he would have the position coaches come up with the mission statement, and after each game, when they would have the meetings, they would revisit it. So I was just curious if that had trickled down to you guys also.
No, I think it did trickle down, but it trickled down in the form of goals, and it trickled down in the form of getting graded. Because after every game, you would get a grade, and then that would be, what you did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you would think even though we blew people out, all of us would be getting 2.0s and great grades. No, some of us were getting like 1 point. You know what I'm saying? Which is you got 50% of the things that you did wrong. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Bob. DJ Bach, y'all.
There we go.
DJ Bach Hovind. DJ Bach. Hey, we're going to get to your text. I promise we're going to get to your text. But I like that, though. I like the fact that we are kind of talking about the things that we need to talk about, man. It's Tough Talk Tuesday anyway. Wingstop, www.wingstop.com. Get over there to one of our 3 locations. Ask them about the what? For
chicken sandwich.
It's the captain. I'm with
the black shirt.
I'm with
Coven.
On the ticket, 93.7.
DJ Coven.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Guys, I just had my weigh-in over at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping after my second 10-week session over there. Since I started with them in April, I've lost 70 pounds. No pills, no starvation diets, just the proven method at Farrell's using kickboxing, strength training, nutrition, and personalized coaching. It all starts with their 10-week challenge. The next one begins on October 1st. Reserve your spot and get half off by mentioning the ticket. You can get all the information at fxblincoln.com, and I'll see you at Farrell's for the 10-week challenge beginning October 1st. Join now for 50% off. Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days, with both day and night shift schedules available. Stand-up forklift and high-reach forklift experience is a plus for open positions, but they're willing to train for those without experience. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
They say one great thing leads to another, and that's especially true when you visit a Great Clips salon. When you sit down for a haircut with the skilled and friendly stylist at one of our thousands of convenient Great Clips locations, they'll not only make your hair look great, they'll make you feel great too. And that's something you can't help but share with the world. Download our online check-in app today and opt in to get a ready next text when you're up next. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour, with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Lincoln loves local business. What better way to support local than to drink local? Don't miss Lincoln Craft Beer Week beginning September 26th and continuing through October 2nd. You can't go wrong with 14 different local breweries, cideries, distilleries, and more putting on events to get you familiar with Lincoln's craft beverage scene. For more details on participating venues and Lincoln Craft Beer Week, visit lincoln.org/beer tour. Brought to you by the Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau. Remember to enjoy responsibly.
Bust it. Back with Vershawn Jackson, sponsored by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to the Captain, the Ticket 93.7. Man, we are in the building, sponsored by Wingstop. Get to one of our 3 locations, 50th and O Street, 29th and Pine Lake Road, or 28 and Superior Terrell Farley, and ask them about all the different flavors of chicken sandwiches you can get. If you tell them I sent you, they will give you any flavor you want. That's you too, Bob. Thanks for getting my camera. Without further ado, listen, I had to go back into the Rolodex again and bring back a brother in the faith with me so that I can properly interview him and let the people know kind of who he is, what he's done, where he's been, and then, you know, you might get a little bit of inspiration at the end. But without further ado, Johnny Mitchell.
How's it going, guys? What's up, Captain Ra? Your guys have one of the best shows, and the passion and love the callers have and the fans, the interest in Husker football, man. And it just seems like a lot of people are concerned. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Right. But let's start out by this. Who recruited you? Where from? What made you decide to go to Nebraska?
Well, truth be told, Ron Brown, Coach Brown, came into Simeon High School. You might know it, the high school that Derrick Rose, and you know, it was a basketball school basically, but we had a pretty good football program. And he came up there and was asking about William Johnson, who played on Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl team at the time. And he saw film of me. William Johnson was a couple years older, and he just kept an eye on me. And when I became a senior, they decided to offer. But of course, William Johnson ended up going to Michigan State. I didn't want to go to Michigan State, although I went to some of their summer camps. It was Miami Hurricanes because Herbert Alexander was a great friend of my high school coach. So, you know, I almost went to Miami, but as I told you the story before, Jimmy Johnson didn't keep his words. And that's when I know coaches are like politicians.
So you did you just automatically commit, or you just said, okay, let me go on my recruiting trip, and then you committed after that? Yeah, what made you commit to Nebraska? What was it about it?
Well, you know, of course they had, you know, the atmosphere with guys that came before me. Nate Turner, being from Chicago, was definitely my you know, chaperone. He took me around and talked to me. He was a Chicago legend. He's probably one of the greatest football players in the state of Illinois of our time.
Wow.
Nate Turner. And
Nate the Skate.
Yeah, and he was legend, man, and he had a big role in me coming to Nebraska. So you should thank him as well.
All right, we Nate big bro, so we have Nate on, and we're gonna have to talk about that a little bit, because Nate said you rode up with his mom and dad. I was like, oh man, you talk about a connection. So did Coach Osborne come and sit down in your living room?
I'm not sure. I don't remember that part. To talk to you mean like talk to my mother and father?
Yeah, you know, like so yeah. like to come in and throw his pitch as to why Nebraska. Because I had half the projects at my house, you know what I'm saying, when he came.
I don't think he needed to. I mean, you're talking about a coach that always contended. Nebraska football at that time was, you know, we was a 1 or 2 loss team every year. So I don't think he had to. I think, you know, he already had built a foundation. So if anything, I would have been coming there and sitting in his office trying to convince him to give me a shot. But definitely, he played a major role. Like I said, he was a very quiet man. He never spoke much, but he was like a silent ninja, you know, in terms of how they come in and execute their plans. The next thing you know, we national championship. But that's basically how it went that I can remember. We're talking 3 decades.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm still gonna dig. I'm still digging, big bro. I'm still digging. Talking to Johnny Mitchell, former first round. So you get to Nebraska, right? What was that life like? How was practice? How was that coming from Chicago, being a true freshman?
Well, basically, I was a Prop 48. Derek Brown and I, we both had to sit out a year. So that's where you see where the rules apply to me, where I only played 2 years, but I was on campus for 3. But the one great thing I remember about Dr. Tom Osborne, he gave Derek Brown and I a job for the summer while we studied for the Prop 48. And of course, you know, we never practiced that in Chicago public schools. You know, the educational system is a lot different from a lot of the suburbs that kind of prep these kids. But we passed the test. But, you know, as I shared with you before, I helped build that stadium. They had construction going on there. So Derek Brown and I would go in there and work. So I realized that wasn't the path I wanted to go. But the atmosphere, the atmosphere in Lincoln, it's all about football. Ain't too much you can get in trouble with there. It's just not a lot to do like the University of Miami or, you know, Georgia Tech or something where you have Atlanta and these type places. So football in school, you know, was easy to do because there wasn't a lot of distraction.
So you work with Shep.
Who was Shep?
You might not remember. He ran the stadium. Old dude. I worked at the stadium too, and they used to have us out there painting.
That kind of stuff. You got, and it was rightfully so that you had these kind of job, Captain Ron, because it teaches you that, you know, is more to life than football. And of course, you know, Dr. Tom, his graduation rate and success was very high. So not only were we competing against the Oklahomas in the Big 8 and the Colorado Buffaloes, a couple of teams that probably won national championships, that was very good schools, you know, but we was also, you know, educational wise, you know, he did a great job at that as well.
Now, so when you did start playing, who was your quarterback when you played?
Well, okay, now here we come full circle. Your head coach right now was the guy, Mickey Joseph. He threw me my first touchdown. I almost scored on the very first throw. I remember going into Dr. Tom's office and telling him I wanted to play defense because I was a better defensive player than offense. I played edge and linebacker, and I tried to convince him because I knew on defense I was fast, I was strong, and I could get to the quarterback. So I can pretty much be like a Lawrence Taylor where you just go and dominate on defense because all it takes is just heart and effort. But Dr. Tom, they had me stuck about the 14th position at tight end because he believes in seniority. That was just his thing, and rightfully so, because guys been there for years and paid their dues. I didn't see it that way. I just knew I was better than the guys ahead of me. No disrespect to the Chris Garretts and the Will Washington and those guys, but all men are not created equal. And some people just got a little bit more than others in that particular field. It happens to be football. But those guys could have been great lawyers. I couldn't be a lawyer. I couldn't be other things of the world that society needs. So I was a great football player. And you just could not stop me because my determination and will and my God-given ability, I could catch a football behind my back. As I told you, I can throw 70 yards each hand. I could have played quarterback. I played quarterback in high school. I should have been any position they could put me in, I could play it. And that's just the way I was gifted. But sometimes the gift could be the curse. And that's a story for another time. You just need to write that on a piece of paper and say, man, we're going to do a show about the gift and the curse, and I can relate it to all the current situations we're in today with great players. But go ahead.
So 1990, 10 games, 11 receptions, 282 yards, 7 touchdowns, which I keep telling people as a tight end, that was huge numbers at Nebraska. But you came back 91, 11 games played, 31 catches, so 20 extra catches, 534 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I didn't drop the ball. And I just knew that I practiced the way I played. And that's the way Dr. Tom Osborne, he created the practice regimen where you catch, you finish the play. And every time I got the ball, I knew I could score. And I was determined to score. And if I had to drag guys on my shoulder or do an extra kick or jump a little bit higher, by any means necessary, it was getting done. I realized I didn't want to go back to the inner cities of Chicago, and that football was a meal ticket. It was a vehicle for me. And I knew I was hungry. I remember times on campus, I didn't have $1 in my pocket. I wanted to eat. And that's where Nate Turner come in, guys like that who, was doing good. They kind of supported me. And my mother and father at the time, God bless their soul, especially my mother, they just didn't have it. So that was a deciding factor too. I grew up in Mississippi. CNN did a story, Jim Hubert, The Sporting Life. It was award winning, talking about Johnny Mitchell that caught his first touchdown that gave him his granddaddy the ball. His granddad the ball. My granddad was 100% Choctaw Indian. We was indigenous. He used to tell me about our history on the land in which we came from in Mississippi, and my grandmother, she didn't make it to see the house that was built. When they put the first stakes in the ground, she passed away, God bless her soul. And that was, Big Mama and Big Daddy that's who raised me. My mother and father at that time, God bless their soul, they didn't have the maturity. And Chicago was such a bad city, that, they couldn't raise my sister and I. So we was raised down on a farm. We used to eat 60-70% of our food off the land. That's why I had that inner strength. I had that Reggie White strength where I can just stiff arm you and you getting buckled. You hitting the ground, and that's what I was sharing with you about coaching football. You can hear my voice. I still have that passion and that determination. So when I tell a kid, hey, man, you can do it. If you have it in you, I won't lie to you. So if you can do it, you better believe it. And I just put gunpowder in their food, and how you raise dogs. You know what I'm saying. And you got to get that dog.
I need to put a little gunpowder in their food, put some habaneros and some
That's right.
Some
That's
ghost
right.
peppers. But okay, so I want people to understand, okay, because Johnny was the first freshman from Nebraska to make the All Big 8 first team at that point since 1946. Did you know that stat?
Well, no, I never knew that, but I do know that God don't make mistakes, and I want to just share with you about Chief Jackson. He took me under. He was an Oklahoma tight end that taught me how to play the position. And he said, man, I'm going to kind of teach you some of the secrets about playing the position. That's why I said, if I can't coach tight ends, then what are we doing here? That's why I said I had a PhD in master, because I know all the secrets. It was handed down to me by Keith Jackson and John Mackey, who was my neighbor down in Boca Raton, Florida, that we used to sit every day. Who can say that they sat at the feet of the master, John Mackey, you know, and I had a chance to talk to Mike Ditka, and these guys used to share all their stories. So I learned, and I was coachable. And I learned the position from other greats who was pass catching, Shannon Sharp, these guys. So, hey, man, look, listen, when I tell you being coach, I can just keep naming great tight ends, Brent Jones and these guys, and they'll share with you certain things you had questioned. I don't know if they do that anymore. But anyway, get back to your question, because I don't want to rant off.
I listen, all that stuff is good, but okay, so, and you know, growing up in Nebraska, we hear this stuff, we see it, you know, I watched all this stuff take place, but to talk to you now about it and get it from the horse's mouth is so much better. So I remember, you know, after your sophomore season, which really was your junior season, you know what I'm saying? You was the first player to leave Nebraska for the NFL before your eligibility had expired at Nebraska. So you was the first player to leave early.
I'm going to share something with you.
That's the truth.
I'm going to share something with you. I never even told anyone this, but, you know, you can't take these things to your grave with you. And Captain Ra, I don't know why I'm compelled to let the whole world know, but I told you my lineage is very powerful. And right now in my house, it has traveled with me around the world. My grandmother gave me an old Bible before I went to the University of Nebraska. I have it right now. It's been in the family for centuries. You know, it's dusty, it's falling apart, and it got to be hundreds of years old. I mean, I'm going to take a picture and send it to you today. But you just brought me back on some memories. And, you know, when I got on campus, I wasn't popular. No one knew who I were. I wasn't beautiful to the young ladies. So I didn't have a lot of options, you know. But I was humble and I was walking around. I remember growing up bare feet, you know, in Mississippi when we used to have to go to church. And then when I did have shoes, I used to hide them because I hated going. My grandparents, you know, it was just part of our tradition. But she gave me this Bible and she said, man, she said, in her rocking chair, God bless and rest her soul, she's rocking in her chair. She said, man, I'm going to give you this book. And when you feel like you by yourself, you know how Tom Osborne, when he's so soft-spoken, that's the way my grandmother was. And she said, I'm going to give you this book. It's been in our family for so many years. Because I was suffering, you know. I was, it's tough, you know, and nobody understands me and this and that. And she said, I'm going to give you this book and you keep it and you read these verses anytime you feel like you're lonely and by yourself. I said, okay, Grandma, Big Mama, I'm going to read it. And she gave it to me and I brought it to Lincoln campus. And I started reading that book and I used to cry there in the dormitory because, you know, like I said, man, I wanted friends. And, you know, at the time, Derek Brown had a similar experience with me. That's the only one that could relate because we did similarly had the same path. And I read that book and I'd be in dormitory when the guys be out partying and stuff. And that was the year before I got the summer before my first game. And man, I would read that book and verses and, you know, and I felt like it had a lot of good things in there that would keep me straight and keep me company. And I read verses that helped me through it. And when I got that opportunity, I told Dr. Tom, listen, man, I belong to be on the field. He said, Johnny, it's not fair to guys that's been here. It was his exact words that, you know, guys earn their rights, and that's why they're ahead of you. But I said, Coach, I looked him in the eyes in his office, and I never forget. I said, Coach, once you put me on that field, now you know I'm never coming off. And I just took advantage of those opportunities, and I stayed in the Word, and I kept working hard. And next thing you know, they said, man, this boy can go. He can go in the first round. He can go to the NFL. And then guys like Brian Washington, who was already in the league, he used to come back to Lincoln and tell me, hey man, listen, they talking about you, man. They really gonna give you a shot. And he was at the Jets. I knew it. But I thought San Francisco 49ers was going to, but they got a guy from UCLA. His name was Dana Brinson I'm sorry, not Dana Brinson, Dana or something. A safety that the 49ers got because they was calling my mother to say, hey, we're going to pick your son. And they didn't do it. The Giants, New York Giants came around. They liked Derek Brown. We know that they are more conservative football team. I think Bill Parcells got Derek Brown or whoever the head coach was at the time. And then Dick Steinberg. Oh, Lord. Dick Steinberg, God rest his soul. I had talked to him. He used to come to Lincoln and he talked to the coaches. And he called me. He said, we're gonna choose you. Okay, your life ain't gonna ever be the same. And he told the truth. It never was the same. And guess what happened after I signed that big contract I signed? Man, I threw that Bible away. I said, man, I made it. That was the biggest mistake I ever made because I didn't know that I was swimming in an ocean that was full of great white and orca whales and all those things that would rule the sea.
Right.
I didn't know that. I thought everybody, what they
Johnny.
were telling me was true. They was my friend.
Hold that thought,
Man,
Johnny.
that
Hold
is
that.
not
I got Johnny. Listen to me. Hold that thought. I got more questions for you. When I return, I gotta pay some bills. So I'm with Johnny Mitchell. Just keep diving in a little bit more about where he's been, what he's doing. Former first 15th pick in the NFL draft. It's the captain, the ticket, 93.7. We'll be right back.
They say one great thing leads to another, and that's especially true when you visit a Great Clips salon. When you sit down for a haircut with the skilled and friendly stylist at one of our thousands of convenient Great Clips locations, they'll not only make your hair look great, they'll make you feel great too. And that's something you can't help but share with the world. Download our online check-in app today and opt in to get a Ready Next text when you're up next. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Join us on Friday from 2 to 6 on the rooftop at Barry's as we get you ready for Saturday's game on the block with Eric Strickland and Nate Brennan, followed by Old School with Jay Foreman and DP this Friday from 2 to 6 at Barry's on 9th and Q.
Guys, I just had my weigh-in over at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping after my second 10-week session over there. Since I started with them in April, I've lost 70 pounds. No pills, no starvation diets, just the proven method at Farrell's using kickboxing, strength training, nutrition, and personalized coaching. It all starts with their 10-week challenge. The next one begins on October 1st. Reserve your spot and get half off by mentioning the ticket. You can get all the information at fxblincoln.com, and I'll see you at Farrell's for the 10-week challenge beginning October 1st. Join now for 50% off. Casey's General Stores is giving away 2 tickets to each Nebraska football home game this season. To enter, just head to any Casey's General Store location in Lincoln during the football season, scan the QR code at the front counter, and fill out the online form. One winner will be chosen at random 2 days before that week's game. So head over to Casey's, stock up on all your tailgating snacks and drinks, and register to win 2 tickets to a Nebraska football game brought to you by Casey's General Store and 93.7 The Ticket.
You're getting lots of steps in this fall between going to football and volleyball games. Are your shoes getting worn out? For the rest of September, when you stop by Brown Shoe Fit, you can take an additional 20% off the men's clearance rack sale price. The clearance rack has your favorite brands like Brooks, New Balance, Clarks, and more. Hurry in for the best selection in your size. The sale ends September 30th, so hurry in now for 20% off all shoes on the men's clearance rack at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and things are cooking in Louisville. Right now, our pre-owned sales are off the charts, and we have loaded up the lots full of inventory. We've got a great supply of Sierras, Silverados, Tahoes, Yukons, and crossovers. Plus, we've got a great supply of back-to-school cars just in time for the big day. Don't forget about all of those new 2022 and 2023 units arriving every day as well. So please take that short, money-saving drive down 144th Street or shop online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Get an immediate look back at the game from the people who know it best. It's It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word live from Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Hear from former players and national champions like Jay Foreman, Rashawn Jackson, and Aaron Davis and see what they saw in that day's game. It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word. Live and in person, home or away at Tanner's Bar and Grill, brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure. Only here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days, with both day and night shift schedules available. Stand-up forklift and high-reach forklift experience is a plus for open positions, but they're willing to train for those without experience. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
Bauer Infrastructure is a new name from a well-established brand, and they're paving the way to progress. And they're hiring. Bauer Infrastructure is hiring truck drivers, carpenters, truck mechanics, and equipment operators. And they have industry-leading benefits to maintain a work-life balance. Bauer offers paid time off and paid holidays, a matching 401k plan, medical, dental, vision, life, and disability insurance, a clothing allowance, and more. Start your new career today by applying at BauerInfrastructure.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back with Vershawn Jackson, sponsored by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bubbling, it's bubbling, it's bubbling, it's bubbling. Be careful what you eat, because you are what you eat. You know, when I was telling a story about my brother, I didn't say this. I was telling a story about my brother, me and him fighting and being equally matched. But, you know, when you really think about it, now I would never fight against him. But, boy, if I had my brother right next to me fighting, I know me and him back to back, it's going to be woo, woo. Because I know what he's capable of. I know I'm not going to look back behind me and he's going to be running down the hill talking about, holla at your boy, dog, I'm out of here. He'll be right there in the mix. Same thing on the football field.
Well, I got 3 brothers, so it's 3.
But the same on the football field. Yeah. Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
Right? When you out there, you want to know that these guys going to get it done. And you know they are because of the fights that you had in practice. Not literal fights.
Big fights.
Physical. And we shake hands and we walk away as brothers. Me and my brother never hit in the face. We never would punch each other. Even though we fought, we never. It was something about punching in the face that just seemed kind of off. Punching your siblings in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if he get a good shot on me and blacken my eye, what good is that going to do? If I knock his tooth out, you think I would hate to be like, yeah, bro, remember I knocked your tooth out?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But iron sharpens iron, and the how we competed against one another. I know if we competing together and we have that same level of intensity, there's not too many people that'll be able to beat us. Now, I'm gonna get back to Johnny. Johnny, you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, hold on, Johnny. I ain't done. I gotta guide this thing. How was it playing for Pete Carroll?
Man, Pete Carroll, he teaches you about the fun side of football, that it can't be serious all the time. You know, as I was sharing with you, that sometimes you got to take those kids out on dates, man. Take them bowling, play some basketball sometime, take them to a movie. I learned that side of it from Pete. He was a mastermind in balancing it out. It can't be all one way. Like I told you about the Upanishad, a great spiritual sect in Asia, that they walk the razor edge. You know, you got to have balance when you do things. It can't all be one way. You know, I wanted to share something with you about the music playing. I was listening to you guys earlier. We did play music, but we only played it loud. So when we went to away games, we could mimic the crowd. So Dr. Tom will turn up the speaker volumes and make sure that with all the loud noise, that we could, through that adversity, we'll be able to communicate better. But Dr. Tom used to give us the play on the sideline and say, Johnny, tell Mickey to call this play. And he'll tell the play, and I'll run in, or whoever was standing next to him. Now they got the things on their ears, and it has changed a lot. But the actual listen to Snoop Dogg and all these Little Dirk and Little Turk and Little Merc and all this stuff, that never would go if I was, a head coach. I would never play the
Nah,
music.
they can't. Listen, man, when we came through, it was crowd noise. I don't remember when I came through the shoot, he had the crowd noise, and we had these big old speakers, and he would crank it up on Thursdays. On a Thursday practice, on a fast practice, on a know what you're doing practice, but not from the start of practice to the end of practice. And these are 18, 17, 18, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 21. They're not fully developed, and you're playing music that's in their ears that they want to get out there and dance and do the stuff that they do up in the clubs or whatever they're doing when they listen to that type of music. That is unacceptable behavior when we're talking about a team that has not been good. You cannot teach through music. Some people can't learn if anything is distracting them.
That's right.
So we got to become all things to all people. Once we figure out how to play, once we figure out what to play, now if you want to play some music after you done got your infrastructure right, shout out to my infrastructure guys. If you done got your infrastructure right, you done got your foundation right, and you built that house upon sound foundation, and then once it's built, now if you want to, play the music, okay. The foundation is built. But when the foundation is shaken and it's built on sandy ground, that's not the time to me that you play music that's going to distract young men from doing their job. They got a scholarship to do a job. Why all of a sudden now are we at a point in our career where we think that scholarship you got is for free? Who said that scholarship is for free? You got that scholarship because you got a job. They gave you that because you coming to play football. They didn't give you that because you come into class.
No doubt.
So our mentality has to be different across the board if we're going to accept something different. If we're going to do something different and be different, we got to be different. We cannot continue, which a little birdie said that there ain't no more music at practice. Should be a lot more focus.
There you go.
So Johnny, you go from Nebraska, right, to in Mississippi, barefoot, Nebraska needing something to eat. Nate hooked me up to New York Jets. And do you remember what was the signing bonus back then? 1992.
I don't remember exactly, but it was somewhere around $800,000 or $1 million, somewhere around there.
Boy,
if it was today, it'd be about $17 million.
That's crazy.
More or less.
Yeah. I mean, now you got my cousin in 2018, 2017 signing a $30 million contract.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? That unheard of. So now you go from there. What was the difference as far as life? What was the difference between Nebraska and going to the NFL?
Well, because I wasn't good with politics, I never was good with those things because I was too sincere and gullible. First of all, I believed everything people told me, from businessmen to friends to girlfriends and to people in general, family. They do you the most harms because they're the closest. So I got heartbroken on a lot of things. Cause, I'm going in this pig business, man. Cause, man, all I need is 15 racks. Invest in it. We're going to make it look. I sold this many hogs and you give him 15,000. Next thing you know, he got a new truck and that's it. And then they turn around and laugh. And then the other one comes, cause my wife to put me out and I need a house or a trailer house or something. Can you help me? Cause this $25,000. You give them $25,000. Next thing you know, they laughing at you. But that's how my life has been. And it taught me that men's hearts set on money is their God. That's why I told you I would come and change Nebraska football program around on principle alone. And if Trevor Alberts really want to know a true football coach that loves Nebraska football, say, hey, I'm searching for a coaching hire, but we're not going to pay more than, we're not paying anything. We're just going to give you food and housing. And let's see how many coaches will come and take that job. See, that's what I would do, because that's the common sense of things. But they don't do that no more, because now the coaching money game is such what's the word, unsincere on the other end of the hire, that all they know that their coaching salary is guaranteed. So they don't care if you fire them. They don't care. As a matter of fact, the behavior of some coaches shows you that they want you to fire them so they can get out of it and take the money with them. Listen, man, the reason why I ballot, and I ain't want to branch off, but I want to validate Coach Joseph. And I'm going to tell you why. His background and upbringing was similar to mine. His coaching path, do you know that man has been from high school coaching all the way up to current, that he has been through all the tribulations and trials that is needed to be a great coach, and that not only has he coached high school football in Nebraska and college football before coming back to Nebraska this year, if I'm correct, he coached at Kearney, right? Or Wayne State, I'm sorry. And he knows the interior state of Nebraska. He knows those, the panhandle, and he knows the places where the talent lies. He would be best to restore the program because he walked through there. And he's a true Nebraska guy. Although he's from, is it what, Montero, Nebraska, Louisiana? I mean, he knows about Nebraska football, and he could tell you more because he was a player, he was a student, he was a high school football coach, he was a small town college football coach. He went into other coaching areas. He won a national championship here 3-4 years ago at LSU. He also won on a smaller level. So he's a winner. And it was his class that Dr. Tom Osborne brought in there to start that national championship run, which, Captain Rod, you was three-time national championship. That's unheard of. Not too many men walking in this United States could say they won 3 national titles. So when you speak, people need to listen. They need to listen. Yeah. And I wouldn't want to send my daughter to the University of Nebraska with Urban Myers walking the campus. Because I know he's going to be trying to hit on my daughter. Yes, I said it. I wouldn't want my daughter. I wouldn't send her to Nebraska.
Put a pin. We're gonna put a pin in that. We'll throw it to break. We'll be right back right after this. 93.7 The Ticket.
Lincoln loves local business. What better way to support local than to drink local? Don't miss Lincoln Craft Beer Week beginning September 26th and continuing through October 2nd. You can't go wrong with 14 different local breweries, cideries, distilleries, and more putting on events to get you familiar with Lincoln's craft beverage scene. For more details on participating venues and Lincoln Craft Beer Week, visit lincoln.org/beer tour. Brought to you by the Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau. Remember to enjoy responsibly.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days, with both day and night shift schedules available. Stand-up forklift and high-reach forklift experience is a plus for open positions, but they're willing to train for those without experience. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Bauer Infrastructure is a new name from a well-established brand, and they're paving the way to progress. And they're hiring. Bauer Infrastructure is hiring truck drivers, carpenters, truck mechanics, and equipment operators. And they have industry-leading benefits to maintain a work-life balance. Bauer offers paid time off and paid holidays, a matching 401k plan, medical, dental, vision, life, and disability insurance, a clothing allowance, and more. Start your new career today by applying at BauerInfrastructure.com.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
You're getting lots of steps in this fall between going to football and volleyball games. Are your shoes getting worn out? For the rest of September, when you stop by Brown Shoe Fit, you can take an additional 20% off the men's clearance rack sale price. The clearance rack has your favorite brands like Brooks, New Balance, Clarks, and more. Hurry in for the best selection in your size. The sale ends September 30th, so hurry in now for 20% off all shoes on the men's clearance rack at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's Fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Expect sunny skies and another beautiful fall day. We'll top out at around 78. Winds turning out of the north-northeast at around 10. Tonight mainly clear, a low down to around 41, so it will be a chilly night and a cooler day for our Wednesday. Plenty of sunshine again, but a high of 69. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Back with Vershawn Jackson, sponsored by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we coming down to the end of the wire. We coming down to the end of the road. Keith Dozer says this: motivation, energy, and intensity are intangibles that in football you should appreciate, no matter where it comes from. The game evolves, and so has the mindset to coach, recruit, and to teach. Because if you're not relative, you don't relate. And the thoroughbreds ain't coming. You farm with mules and win races with thoroughbreds. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Shout out to Keith Dozier.
Yeah.
My first cousin.
That was a good one. I really appreciate that. Okay, so we're still with Johnny. Johnny, I'm out of time, but you got you got a minute, Johnny. Hold up.
Yep.
You got a minute, big bro. You got 1 minute.
Sure.
Give us your last statements until the next time we hear from Jay Mitch.
Okay. So basically, I'm a naturals law guy, right? So I believe that everything is relative, and especially with our Huskers. What's the commonality between Mickey Joseph and Scott Frost? What did they both do in Nebraska at the same position?
Play quarterback.
That's right. So if, in fact, we're sitting in the worst situation in the history of Nebraska football, basically, wouldn't you think in the natural law of polarity, that the extreme opposite would be someone like Coach Joseph? Could he be the South to the North, or the cold to the hot, or the light to the day, or the wins to the loss? What I'm trying to tell you, give him a chance, rally behind him, support his ideas. We already tried it that direction. Why don't we turn around and go back to another direction or go down another pathway? Listen, let's rally. He is our head coach. And we need to be sleeping at night, dreaming in that realm state of sleep, thinking about Mickey leading our Nebraska Cornhuskers to victory. Let's try that for a change. That's when we go to sleep tonight. We think about Coach Joseph leading our Nebraska Cornhuskers to a victory against our next opponent. Let's try that falling asleep, and let's see won't the ball bounce in our favor. See, you guys don't understand that we're living in a dream, and that you can arrange this dream with what between your ears. All is mine. Let's rally behind him. We tried, Scott. Why not let's go on the very end of the scale and try to see could we find balance with head coach Mickey Joseph. Let's support him. Let's stop talking all this foolishness of these men that want to come in here and rape us some more with this money thing, because it's a farce. You're talking to a coach. I know how it works. You're going to feed you and your best friend. They're going to run amok again in this program and take all the money and go. Let's give him a chance. You're not paying him a lot. What do you got to lose, Trev? What do you got to lose, Nebraska fans? You had what you want. Now let's get the opposite end of the natural law of polarity and bring our guy and let him marinate and bring these young men in like you marinate a piece of meat and tenderize it and throw it on a daggone grill. Let's get us a nice cooked barbecue steak, Nebraska style.
Hey, so
and I hope that my words speak in 4 quadrants, that you hear me and stop talking about these other men. You got the man right there. Sometimes we don't know what we have until it's gone.
Ugh. We don't want to do that. But Johnny, listen, I appreciate it. They about to yank my neck right now. I gotta get out of here. But I appreciate you. I think that the things that you say should be heard as well. And I appreciate you coming on. I think you're going, for me, you're going to be a person that they're going to hear from for the rest of the season. And let's just remain to be seasoned. I think we do. We got to give Mickey an opportunity.
Let's sleep on it, man. Let's
Get
think about
behind
his victories and success collective. Tell a Nebraska fan, tell your friends. Let's go to sleep thinking about winning with Coach Mickey Joseph. In the realm sleep, let's go in the state of creation and bring this man victory to restore this program from the mockery that these pundits and these commentators out there laughing and joking about our Nebraska football. He is the guy. He's going to get it done. And if anybody don't like it, come see me.
Johnny Mitchell, appreciate you. We'll talk to you later, sir.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm in here sweating, man. Shoot, man. I like I love the energy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we got breaking news, right? It's breaking news before I get out of here. Breaking news. Mr. Mickey Joseph has spoken at the Tuesday press conference.
Well, we use this week to reset, refocus, and improve. You know, as we get back into Big Ten play, you know, our kids got to look at this as a fresh start. It's just a brand new start in Big Ten play. It'll be our second Big Ten football game. Indiana on offense presents a lot of problems. They had 104 snaps versus Cincy last week. They snapped it faster than third fastest team in the country snapping the ball. So it's going to present a problem for our defense. But at the end of the day, it's homecoming. It's a night game. And we're excited to get back in front of our fans in Memorial Stadium.
That it?
Oh, there's plenty more.
Well, do we have the questions?
No. I mean, I can line them up here. Like this question is, what can Bill Busch do in 2 weeks to change the defense?
There you go.
Well, we eliminated some things that we did in the past, but Bill's not out there by himself. He's the D-line coach, the linebacker coach, and the secondary coach. They're all working together, and they're working together well. I told those guys yesterday how I appreciate them jumping on board. So they've been meshing, and sometimes it's hard to do that, but they've been meshing. But Bill's sharp. Bill's a really good football coach. He understands what I want. I got to see him in action at LSU, with Dave Aranda. So he knows what I want. He knows what he's doing.
Let's go. I mean, I want to hear from Coach, so I didn't need me talking.
This is Kevin Williams' update. If you noticed, he wasn't on the depth chart yesterday. Ethan Piper was at left guard.
Yeah, Piper will start at left guard. Kevin will be out. He had surgery at high ankle sprain, so he had surgery, so he'll be out maybe 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 3 more weeks. But, at the end of the day, the ball's going to kick off Saturday, so we got to get our best 5 on the field. But Piper will start at left guard.
Here's what's been the most difficult thing about taking over as interim head coach.
Just learning, thanks to Andrew and my crew over there, and just learning everything, just kind of taking everything in. It's a lot to do. Like, I don't really enjoy this. I really don't. To tell you the truth, I'm not that type of dude that want to be in front of the cameras all the time. But that's what the job brings. So I have to do it. But I got to depend on my guys, Keith and everybody, and Matt to help me with this. And I'm always open. And the people that help me the most are the players, because they're bought in and no resistance. They're bought into what we're trying to do. But it wasn't easy. It's not easy.
Another depth chart thing you might have noticed, Ernest Hausman not among the backup linebackers now. Here's what Joseph had to say about Ernest Hausman.
He's going to be both, but he's still in the mix. He's still in the mix at linebacker also.
Where does he need to come for just to kind of get back up there?
With all those young kids, just ask me, it has a slow down for them. It has a slow down in their head. This game is a fast game compared to Friday nights. Saturday afternoons and Saturday nights are really fast. So he had to slow down for him. But he's an intelligent kid. He's a really good athlete. And he just got to keep developing. But he's always going to be in the mix.
Here is Coach Mickey Joseph's feelings about the running back room.
Well, you know how we feel about AG. Grant's a really good player and real confident in Gabe. Gabe ran the ball well at the end of the game against OU. Let me tell you about Gabe. Gabe's a high-character kid. When things didn't go his way, he didn't sit on the sideline and pout. He bowed his neck. He waited until he got his opportunity, and he took advantage of it. So we have a lot of confidence in Gabe.
And then some Indiana specific stuff. How do you counter Indiana's pace?
Well, my thing is get the calls in. Bill's got to get the calls in, and we got to execute the call.
And a follow-up on that, how do you get the calls in for the defense on time against the fast-paced offense?
Well, sometimes with tempo teams, you're going to get a call in. So the next call, they got to get their eyes over to the sideline right away and get the call. And it's got to be one word's got to tell you everything. The front, the coverage, the blitz. So we do a lot of one-word things. But the linebackers have to really get the calls from the sideline, and the safeties have to get the signals so we can get going.
And then just a question, how important is the win over Indiana for this team?
I think it's important. I think beating Indiana is number one goal, but it's really important for this football team just to get some confidence that they can start something and finish it. And that's our goal, to beat Indiana.
How exactly did the team reset in the bye week?
We gave them off. We gave them off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, brought them back Sunday. So give them time to let their body heal, let them get away from football, let them get with their families. So that's the things we did this past weekend.
Then I think I got one more here for you. What was the competition in practice like this last week?
It was really good competition. We got after each other. And today we was getting ready for Indiana. And I was happy with their effort today because we talked about effort between you and you. And they gave us that today and last week.
And we're still working on getting some other bites in, so we'll maybe have more of that in the next show. But I did see this on Twitter. He also said Mickey Joseph did on being the interim and kind of the interview process that's going around for the next head coach. He said our interview is right now the next 8 games. So he's fully aware he's gonna have to impress to get that done.
Talk about pressure.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you got 8 games to prove that you can be head coach material. He's got his work cut out for him. A lot of work to do. It's not an easy task. I lift him up. I hope he can do the best. You know what I mean? And all we can do is sit back and watch and see what the results are. And then we go from there at that point. You know what I'm saying? If the results don't turn out as like we want them to, I think I think Trev's got a mind for that and what he's going to do. And I think if Mickey does what he's supposed to do and get this team playing inspired football, then I think Trevor also has a mind to do in that situation. So I think right now Mickey is the coach. I really don't like talking other coaches right now. And for the record, we will not bring up another coach until there's a definite, we know Mickey's not going to be the coach. So after the season, I think we should bring it up. But right now, Mickey is the coach. I don't want to hear about Urban Meyer. I don't want to hear about all these other so-called coaches that's supposed to be the coach. Let's focus on him because I did the exact same thing with Scott. When people started calling for Scott's head, I said, Scott's the coach, and we need to get behind him. And it's the same thing for Mickey. I mean, Mickey's got his work cut out. He's got a whole rebuild that he's doing. And I think we should support him just like we supported all of the coaches that came through the chute. And he should feel that support. He shouldn't feel anything but support from Nebraska Nation, the fans, the administration, us former players, media. We all should get behind him, man. All of us got to be tired of losing.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
He sounded good, though. I like everything he was saying. Everything sounded positive. Just got to, and it all boils down to the kids, man. You can only coach them so much that it's time for them to get on the field and perform. And, I feel comfortable with Mickey doing his job and Bill Bush getting the defense ready. Like to say, they're a high-tempo team, so you need to really, really make the play and get back over to the sideline and look. So most of this with a fast-paced offense is going to be on them getting the call in or the linebackers getting the call in the back. The free safety is getting the call in. So, I got confidence in them getting the kids ready. So now it falls in the kids' lap for them to get the play out.
3 days in the wake-up, Bob.
Oh, I'm excited.
Indiana. The Indiana football back. Indiana plays fast, right? We know they play fast.
Yeah.
But for a fast team, you do ball control. Keep it away. And what's that you always say for the defense? I hope we can finally get it done.
Tackle, hit, tackle.
No.
Tackle,
it was tackle, punt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta
3 and out.
Yeah.
I know you want to add, but we can't add anything right now. We just need the fundamentals, Terrell. Tackle, punt. All day long, every day. Get the Wingstop, www.wingstop.com. What is it, the water cooler?
Yeah.
Y'all cooling water today?
Oh, it's coming up next.
What? The water cooler is coming up next with Rico and Bach. It's the ticket, 93.7. I'm the captain. I'm with
the black shirt.
I'm with
COVID.
How about your boy, dog?